Hi guys, it's BlazeJack3 and I'm back today with another video. And of course, as you can probably tell by the thumbnail, this is pretty much about my thoughts on Spider-Man PS4. And honestly, I love the game. It was all around amazing. A few of the suit choices I kind of disagree with a little bit, but they still kind of worked out because it was pretty cool. But I all in all really did love this game. This was pretty creative. It was amazing. It was just awesome all around. And one of the issues that I wanted to bring up about people in the community who wanted a Spider-Man game was when it was at its soon to release point, people were talking about if maybe it was like downgraded or something. And actually, it wasn't downgraded at all. It honestly wasn't. It literally was just lighting. They were telling the truth. It was just lighting. I don't know if it's different on just regular PS4. I know on PS4 Pro it looks good, but for PS4 it might be slightly different, but maybe not that different. This is a really good game. And one I want to like tell you about is like when Spider-Man walks out of like Otto Octavius' laboratory and he's in the shade or something. You can see where how it looked on the newer trailer, where people thought it looked downgraded, but once he went into the light, it actually looked how it was supposed to. So it really was just lighting. And also, even one of the things that people were worried about was the swinging. But of course, by the demo that we had before, the swinging was, of course, amazing. The fighting, the move sets, everything, especially the suits and their suit powers, those were amazing. Those were very creative and everything. The team who developed this really knew what they wanted in a Spider-Man game, and they knew what we wanted. And Insomniac, they are amazing. I don't know. It's just this game is so amazing. It I can't believe it. Even with the Infinity War suit, they even have where you can actually use the metal arms. Now they don't have it where you can like necessarily walk around on them and stuff on buildings like Dr. Octavius or anything. Which of course, spoilers are ahead in this video. I'm going ahead and telling you right up. I'm not, spoilers are going to be said throughout the video. But they don't have it like that or anything. But I mean, yeah. And one thing I really want to like point out noticeably is that this game features a lot of characters, and for them to actually handle that task is actually pretty good. And they're not just sparse throughout the game and not useful in any way. They're actually pretty useful and actually come together in a great plot sense. It's not just somebody that you added in the game just to make it more popular or just say, oh, we have this boss fight. No, they actually need it. And one scene I really like is when Spider-Man's fighting Martin Lee and he actually has to stop the train, and it's like a really good reference to Spider-Man 2 when Peter was actually trying to stop the train on that movie.
That totally worked last time. Yuri, down.
Now, I was actually surprised to actually see them reference that. It was so cool. Like, at least the developers just didn't imagine that the stuff that never existed, And I really, really, really appreciate that. But one thing I really wanted to note was the Sinister Six. I really did like how they developed that, how they developed Otto Octavius and turned it into Doc Ock, how, he became a close friend of Peter. But like I said, I really want to talk about like the Sinister Six because they were pretty cool. I like Rhino's build. Before in the past, Spider-Man 2, it was alright, he was more Rhino-y, of course, if anything. But this one, it made him more of a big guy. And he had like his exosuit, and he even said, I mean, come on, Spider-Man's been Spider-Man for 8 years now, and Rhino actually said, yeah, so he doesn't have to be Rhino anymore. But then, yeah, of course, the people know his identity and who he is, but I guess there's a point where it's like, you know what, yeah, I want to kill Spider-Man, but I mean, I'm kind of sick of this, Yeah, he's a big hulking guy who constantly goes around knocking stuff down. Even with all that, I'm pretty sure at some point he want to go into a restaurant to eat or walk down the street or have to do anything or get shot at. Not just that, Martin Lee. Surprisingly, Mr. Negative, aka Martin Lee, of course. For him they said he wasn't the main villain, and like I say, the game was made up 75% of him. honestly, now I was like, okay, so they just pretty much told a story to us, but they didn't. And when they actually finally got to the part where Otto turned into Doc Ock, I was like, okay, so what? We about to get to the end of the game now. But no, it actually took a really good amount of time to actually get to the end of the game. It wasn't like right then that he just turned into Doc Ock and you fight him or anything. And it was really good development, even with Norman, and how when you saw how Norman kind of double crossed everybody. You know how he left at that assembly thing when it blew up, and how he actually made Martin Lee into Mr. Negative. How him and Otto were actually partners and started Oscorp, but it made it seem more like Otto was the brains behind it, which I think in Norman is of course smart too, because you even remember in Spider-Man 1, the movie with Tobey Maguire, he was even a lab technician. He was part of that project, and he was one of the people that actually made, the goblin serum. So I mean, he's smart too, but I do think that Otto is probably smarter than him. I think just Norman has more business sense. But Vulture, they did him well. It looked more like the Vulture that we saw in Spider-Man Homecoming, not necessarily like, it wasn't the same or anything, but how they developed him, saying he had cancer and that's why he doing this and that. Who else? Scorpion, I like that outfit with him because it was never really understood how they gonna make that work, because it's basically a robotic suit, and how are they gonna make it work? It was all right, well, this was amazing, but in other forms it was not all right. And who else was there? Electro, I really did like him. They even said that, of course, foreshadowing that he was going to be turned into pure energy at some point, because that's what he really wants. And he got his powers right. It wasn't that Jamie Foxx thing that we had in Amazing Spider-Man 2. I hate that version of Electro. I honestly hate it, but still. And like I said, they really took I don't know I'm sorry if I missed any other Sinister Six member. They really did take a good turn on this game, with the Sinister Six, because even the Amazing Spider-Man series, that sucked. It didn't make any sense. Like, why? Like, of course, in Amazing Spider-Man gameplay, it basically tried to set up like Sinister Six stuff, but they wouldn't have turned into the Sinister Six. They would have just been monsters created by Oscorp. And it's like, well, why is Oscorp spending their time making a rhino infused monster, making a scorpion infused monster? Why are they even free and live? It didn't make any sense. And I don't know, it just didn't make it really honestly didn't make sense. The Amazing Spider-Man, I'm talking about that game. But this game, it really pulled it all together, and you saw how the Sinister Six were sinister, how deadly they can be to Spider-Man. And I really hope, because of course Aunt May is in this game, and I really hope for that scene. You remember like in Spider-Man 1 when Norman was at dinner and he tried to eat some of that, I forgot what it was. I think it was Thanksgiving or something, and he tried to eat some of that food.
There we are. Oh, it looks delicious.
Norman?
Like, I don't know why, but that part has always just been funny to me. I really wanted to see it, but we didn't, which we will never see it again. At least I don't think so, because Aunt May died, and that was something that I did not expect. I really did expect Spider-Man to die, if anything. I honestly did cry when Aunt May died, because it was like, well, dang, Peter, he has MJ, yeah, but he doesn't have anybody anymore. And I mean, Uncle Ben already passed away, and now Aunt May, oh man. And you saw the struggle that Peter had, because when he was about to insert it into her IV bag and stuff like that, he had to make a choice. I mean, it was like Peter was thinking, man, I can never get what I want. It was either her or a bunch of people in New York who was going to pass away, and that would have been very selfish, of course. And to have to make that choice, that decision, and have her pass away, that was just something. And even the part where MJ was there at the door and she just had to walk off, because you can't really speak on that. There's nothing you can say, well, Peter's gonna be okay. I mean you can't say anything. To have just a few years ago, not even a decade ago, that he lost his uncle. He just lost his aunt right then and there. That had to suck. Like, seriously, that sucked. And like I said, I really thought that it was Spider-Man that was gonna die. Because going into this game, you guys already know in my other video or videos, I forgot, that actually made it a Spider-Man PS4. I really thought that it was really Peter that was gonna die because I mean, yeah, especially that scene with him and Otto with their last fight and everything. I legitimately thought he was gonna die, especially when he had let that arm go to break um Otto's inhibitor chip, which I really wanted. I really wanted them to put in something like my inhibitor chip, like from Spider-Man 2, but they didn't. Which it would have been too much. But still, I really thought he was gonna die because he let that thing go all the way into his chest and everything. But like I said, yeah, like I said, I really thought going into this game that Spider-Man was gonna die because they had Miles in it, and Miles is supposed to take up the mantle of Spider-Man at some point. And of course, as you see at the end of the game, he's of course Peter's alive, but Miles did get bit by the spider because he traveled on MJ, which lucky it didn't even bite her at all, and it got to Miles in that feast place, and it was something. I like I said, I didn't think that Miles was gonna take over in this game, but I thought it was gonna leave us on like a cliffhanger for like the next game where Miles is gonna take over, and it actually might. But I think Peter probably is going to die in the next game, because like I said, it was just the setup. How they was having probably gonna have the spider and everything, and all that stuff. Aunt May. I thought that Peter was gonna die on alone, and I am so glad that Peter Aunt May actually told him to take the mask off and everything, and like I want to see my nephew, and he was like, oh, you knew, and it's like, well, I mean, come on, it's been 8 years. I mean, every time something happens on the news or something, you disappear, and then Spider-Man he just shows up to the scene not too long afterwards. I mean, come on. But like I said, it was a really good game. And like I'm glad they didn't do some little thing where she's not gonna tell Peter that she knows yet, where she looks at the screen or something or looks away and shakes her head. That kid, we already know he's Spider-Man. I'm glad they didn't do anything like that because I would have been really sick of that. I'm glad that they waited throughout the whole game, made it something like even after 8 years that she truly didn't know, and then why say something on it? Like seriously, change up his mojo, But yeah, I really did like this game, and especially, of course, by the end of the game, you see the footage with Harry, that Harry actually didn't go to Europe, that he's actually in Norman's, I guess, closet or something, whatever that is, and yeah. And, by that, it pretty much sets up, of course, the developers, they'll say that, no, there is no black suit, there is no symbiote in the game, or at least not that you think so. It's not going to be playable. But, of course, that was supposed to be an Easter egg for, Spider-Man and everything to, of course, not Spider-Man, but Venom, sorry. For Venom or Carnage. It depends who it's going to be. But I do know that in some versions of it, Oscorp actually does have the symbiote. Some I think they actually develop it. Some they actually just have it. And, yeah. That's actually pretty cool. And for Harry to be like the person that had the symbiote, it was like, okay. But I don't know what he's gonna be. I wanna say he's probably gonna be Carnage or Venom. I don't think Venom, because Venom, if for him to be Venom, of course they had a little Tom Hardy thing that's coming out with Venom the movie later. But with Venom, I mean, he has to have Spider-Man first. But with Carnage, it's Carnage came off of Venom, so that would mean Venom had already been there, right? So I'm thinking it's probably just gonna be Venom or something, or maybe not. Maybe he's just gonna be a symbiote guy. Maybe it's not a symbiote, but it's most likely the symbiote. But that's probably the thing that they want to tease us with. So next game, it might actually have the symbiote in there. Maybe on Peter, maybe not. I don't know. But I would like to see their spin on it and to see a fully like Insomniac original black suit. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, this Easter egg thing was pretty cool. I don't know what they're really gonna do with it, because with the sickness that Harry had, he sometimes even needed a wheelchair because he was winded. and it seems more like a Flash Thompson thing, if anything, because Flash Thompson, he lost his legs and he had to use a symbiote to walk, why he was Agent Venom. But with this, I can see that Harry's using it to, I guess, be healthy or something. And he honestly might, of course, get sick from it or something. Or this could actually be anti-venom. He might actually be that, which, of course, the color didn't look white or anything. But, you know, anti-venom is white with a black outline of, you know, spider. But he might actually be anti-venom because it might be something where Oscorp and Norman got the thing to actually take the sickness away from him, and they keep him in this chamber or something. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's why. But I'm thinking it's probably just gonna go to the Venom thing because it would make more sense, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It's something to really think about. But this game was pretty amazing. I really like this game. People who are hating on it and people who say they don't, they're telling a story. It's impossible to really not like this game. Even if you aren't a hardcore fan of Spider-Man like I am, playing this game just by itself is pretty awesome. You know, the gameplay, the swinging around the city, all that you can explore. Even playing 100% of the game, you don't even experience all of the map because it's actually thought out. It actually looks like an up-to-date New York, you know. It's a lot of stuff to do, and it's a lot of places to go. For you to actually see 100% of the map, I don't want to say it's impossible, but you would literally have to be doing nothing but literally just swinging and landing places and crawling into tight spaces or something for like what, days, weeks, probably a month or two, honestly, because exploring all the map. That's even saying with the missions as well. Yeah, to explore all of that too. But all that aside, this was a pretty great game. I really liked it. You know, the chemistry with Spider-Man and MJ, how they broke up and they might get back together, which you probably are insinuating. I really liked it. But all in all, it was a great game. But tell me what you guys think about this game. Leave a like, subscribe to my channel, share this video with everybody you know, and I'll see you guys until the next video.